Hello, everybody. We just finished doing Hogan with the sticks. Now, this is the next guy. Alright, so here's the deal. Both of these are older cards. Both of them have gear that are game changers. Hogan's, did cost $40 this year. I think last year you were able to get them for somewhat for free off the faction prize wall. Of course, I grabbed the strap. That was the wrong move because this year the strap was free. I'm pretty sure the gear was free last year, as long as your faction had placed. There's that. But we got it this year. Now we're going to look at Ali. His gear is in the hangers. His gear is 5 MP. He doesn't have that big buff that Hogan has. However, 5MP lets us do some things. And let's look at them. We do one row of multiply gems of times 7. Okay. That's 6MP, so that means we're loaded. We choose 7 gems to make into black. Okay. And then we can make 10 random gems into 1 turn countdown gems that will deal damage and increase the damage of all your gems by 20%. Okay. 10 random gems. 1 row of times 7. What I'm seeing here is the ability to use both the sticks and the Haku plate. And you're talking about doing a board of time with a 500% boost, and then hitting some multis down here. He's on a moment. I do not have the moment to show. I want to say his multis go up by like 4 or 5, something like that. It's really big for him, but you also don't need it in order to make him hit. So we are going to show this option instead of the Haku option. We're going to try to show some big damage. I don't know if it's going to show. The downside of Ali is that you do need to use wild hype on him. So there is that. Please keep that in mind. So this is how I run him. There's one 7MP move. So how do we fix that? Simple. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to go Whaley, because it's just what we do, right? 13s, I'm satisfied with that. We're going to do, instead of Seth, we're going to do the black because we're doing a cascade of black. And then we're using 7. We need to do 2 row breaks roughly, but you can do 1 of 2 things here. You can go even bigger with your multiply gems and do 2 row breaks across the multiplies there, or you could do, we're already creating 7, we got to get to 14, so yeah, that's going to be a little bit harder. So we're going to go ahead and keep it like this. Okay, we're going to show the first time without the plate. Keep your robe down, sir. No plates, no medals. We're going to throw a medal on there, because I have no hype on this. So before the plates, well, let's see. With the Seth Rollins plate, I was doing about 100 mil, maybe 120 with this. And this is really Whaley for that. But at the same time, we're about to hit for even higher with this classic striker. He's been out for a good while now, and they have not come back with that moment in a long time. I think they did at one point and offer it for like $100, and we haven't seen it since. And I want to say that was at the end of Rocky. So there is that. All right, we're going to go ahead and throw that. We're going to throw that up here because we've got the 2 black gems already there for us. We're going to increase our black MP by 6. So let's look and see. Our black is doing 219. All right, that's not going to change because we have no plates. However, what we can see is how much our black gems are going to be doing with the no plates. Come on, the game's been kind of... Oh, no. Thank you. Okay. And we're just going to throw this... let's go with this row because there's less of the loot boxes. And then our multiplies are doing 4,025,000. We are going to break 4 there. 53 million, no plates. So he's not going to be one of our people that we were mentioning in Lee's podcast the other day about people that don't need plates. Ali will need plates. He's an older character. So just keep that in mind. There's a couple plates that you can naturally put on there, and one of them being the Seth Radical. Another one being the Queen's Tiara. Another one being the drip. You can technically drip this. So let's look at the new plate though, the sticks. Because the sticks is going to do the most for us. Alright, there we go. Now, what's usable with this is the fact that we can alternate with, what's his butt? Bray Wyatt, if we, ever have a Bray requirement or something like that. I can't imagine that they will, sadly because of his passing. I think we're pretty much done with the Wyatt stuff outside of, Howdy and them. All right, so this time we are at 307,000. We are at 6.72 million, so we gained, 2.5 million? Okay. Let's go ahead and hit it again. We're going to do this because that's going to do a nice little cascade on the blue right there. And now our multiplies are doing 9 million apiece. We are breaking 14 of them. So, and then we have a wall of black that's going to come down behind it. So, we're going to go ahead and create our row breaks for this one. We could go ahead and break the entire row. Are we going to do that though? Let's take this one off. We're going to break that one blue. That way we don't have a loot box. That, I think, is going to be the best for us. And then we shower down 124 million. Okay, and I only have one metal on him because it's a tier 6 metal. So we're at 124 million. Any type of increase for a multiply user is going to be better. So let's go a little bit higher. And this is where the drip plate really is going to be your golden goose, because you're, getting 14 more multiply gems of 7. However, Scopely's a bunch of assholes and don't want to release the drip plate to the rest of the community. Outside of, what was it, almost $1,000 spend for Black Friday. That's just ridiculous. And that was a flat out asshole move. And they could say what they want to, well, we made it available. No, go fuck yourself. All right. Queen's Tiara, 50%, not huge, but every little bit helps whenever it comes to that. And we're going to be procking it twice. So really, we're getting 100%. So remember, we were at 124 million. That's going to be fairly close to an average for him because of the fact that we're doing the same thing over and over, right? Here we go. Here we go. I like these two rows right here. All right, this time we're at 7.3. We were at 6.7 last time. So, like we said, every little bit helps. And also keep in mind, this is him without the moment. There we go. Our blacks are now doing, is that 10.4? 10.4 times 14. We're about, so just by throwing the tiara on there, I'm going to guess that we're going to hit 150. Yeah, right at 150 million. There you go, on Ali, with no moment. So with the moment, over 200,000. 200 million. I always mix up my thousand and million whenever it comes to excitement. But if you have the moment, you're going to hit over 200 million on an old striker card. And yes, you have two reversals on them. Let's just look at that just real quick. Two reversals, one of them being multiply gems, the other one being MP up. So keep that in mind. I want to say a lot of people got him, though. Now, the sticks, I understand, is harder to get. It's I was fortunate with mine. You know, I got it Showdown. I got it from a prize wall for, the Christmas prize wall. And then I got one, thanks to my faction for that Showdown weekend. But harder to get your hands on. But 150 million on an older striker without his moment. And it's easy gameplay. It is clicky, but so what? When you're hitting 150 million, so what? I hope y'all enjoyed. I enjoyed making this. I'm happy with that placement of where that is, and I've got another one on McCool that I was trying out. I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave the one on Santa. We're gonna leave the one on Ali. I'm gonna give Ali some hype love. It's one of those. I'm kind of loaded on striker. I've got two females. I think I've got two males already hyped for. Legend era is a little harder, so he's not going to get any from the loot. So I think he's going to get my wild card hype, and I'm definitely going to take him up because I enjoy using him, and that's the whole point of the game. Yes, it takes a few seconds, but it's so fun. That's fun. Anyways, till next time, gang.